I decided to take a look at the defending Stanley Cup champion Detroit Red Wings roster, and ladies and gentlemen, look at the names on this list. Of course, you have the stars of that 2008 Cup winning team, Henrik Zetterberg, Pavel Datsyuk on the first line, with Thomas Holmstrom, which is a name I have not heard in a very long time. Then you have Dan Cleary, Johan Franzen, and Marian Hossa on the second line, back when Hossa played 1 year in Detroit before moving to Pittsburgh. You have, I think it was Michael Samuelsson, Valtteri Filppula, and Jiri Hudler, which was a great third line back in the day. And then Kirk Maltby, Chris Draper, and Thomas Kopecky as the fourth line. But look at the overall ratings on this group. There's only 3 players in this defending Stanley Cup champion forward group that are above 80 overall. Just goes to show you the difference in kind of mentality with the NHL games and kind of sports games as a whole. You've got Zetterberg, Datsyuk, both at 86. You have Hossa at 85. Then the next closest is Jiri Hudler or Valtteri Filppula with 79 overall. You've got guys like Kopecky's 74 overall. Even the Stanley Cup winning roster, and considered one of the best rosters at the time, still had a bunch of mid to late 70 overall players. Isn't that crazy? Of course, we had to look at the defensemen next, and guys, look at the names on this list and the ratings that they have. Nicholas Lidstrom, arguably at that time one of, if not the best defenseman across the entire National Hockey League, 83 overall, with Brian Rafalski as a 78 overall on that first pair. Then you have Nicholas Kronwall, an 80 overall, and Chris Chelios at 74 overall. Then the third pair, I can't remember the first names, I think it's Andrea Lilia, I might be completely wrong on that, and Brian Stewart, I want to say, at 78 overall. Obviously, depth defenseman, you know, I think I can be forgiven a little bit for not remembering them. But just look at those ratings. 2 defensemen above 80 overall on a Stanley Cup winning roster. They really were ruthless with these ratings 18 years ago, right? Then last but by no means least, we of course have the goaltending, and the defending Stanley Cup champion tandem is Chris Osgood at 81 overall and Ty Conklin at 74. The defending Cup champions in the following game have an 81 rated goalie. Now, I know that there's a lot of conversation about Chris Osgood and how good was he compared to the players in front of him. Was he really that clutch goaltender? But he won the Stanley Cup with the Red Wings, guys. Like, surely he deserves a bit of a higher rating than 81 overall. I then